So in this video, we're going to really practice using that unit circle and then look at one where maybe it's not on the unit circle. How would I find the value of the 6 trig functions? So let's just work through a couple of examples. And this is where you may want to try these and come back and check your answers. So we're going to do just a few. We're going to look at 31 and 35 and 44 here. So in 31, we're looking for sine of 45 plus cosine of 60. So everything is going to go back to that unit circle. So here's my unit circle. I'm looking for sine of 45. So here's 45 degrees. And I'm looking for sine. Sine is the y coordinate. Remember, it's y divided by the radius, but since my radius is 1 on the unit circle, it's really just going to be the y. That's all I need to think about there. So it's going to be sine of 45 degrees is the y coordinate. And then we're going to add the cosine of 60 to it. So we're going back to that unit circle. Here's 60 degrees, and the cosine is going to be 1/2. That's your x-coordinate. So when I add these together, it's not going to be nice. Square root of 2 plus 1 is not a nice number. But there's my final answer. 35 is looking for the sine of 45 times the cosine of 45. Well, we know the sine of 45 is square root of 2 over 2. The cosine of 45 is going to be the x-coordinate at 45, which is also square root of 2 over square root of 2. Square root of 2 over 2. So when I multiply those, I'm going to get 2 over 4, which reduces to 1/2. And then 44, we're looking at 3 times the cosecant of pi over 3 plus cotangent of pi over 3. So remember, cosecant is equal to 1 over the sine. So we need the sine of pi over 3. So the sine of pi over 3 is going to be square root of 3 over 2. Which is going to be 2 over square root of 3. And then we need to find cotangent of pi over 4. Cotangent of pi over 4 is the same thing as 1 over the tangent of pi over 4. Well, tangent pi over 4 is y over x. So it's square root of 2 over 2 divided by square root of 2 over 2, which is going to be 1 over 1, which is 1. That guy is 1. So there's all of our work. I'm going to erase so I have more space to write here. So now we're going to have, this is going to be 6 over square root of 3 plus 1. Remember, we got to rationalize. So that's going to be 3 square root of 3 plus 1. There's our final answer. Oh, just kidding. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 square root of 3 plus 1. There's our final answer. Okay, in this class, we are looking for those exact values, so do not be tempted to plug that in a calculator and get a decimal. That's not what we're looking for. All right, let's do another one. Let's look maybe at number 53. They're asking us for the values of the 6 trig functions. And we just got to figure out where this guy is going to live. We're looking at 8 pi over 3. So I'm going back to my unit circle here. 8 pi over 3. So let's go up by pi over 3s. So 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 3 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3, 6 pi over 3, it's a 2 pi, 7 pi over 3, and then 8 pi over 3. So 8 pi over 3 is the same thing as 2 pi over 3. So that's the ordered pair we're going to use to find all of the trig functions. So we're going to find the sine of 2 pi over 3. So the sine of 2 pi over 3 is going to be that y coordinate, square root of 3 over 2. Cosine of 2 pi over 3, going back to my, here, is going to be 1/2. Tangent of 2 pi over 3. Remember, it's the y divided by the x, so it's square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2, which is square root of 3 over 2 times 2, which is square root of 3. And now that I know those three, I can find the other three pretty easily. So cosecant is 1 over the sine. Oops, must write complete sentences here, guys. Cosecant of 2 pi over 3 is 1 over the sine of 2 pi over 3. So it's going to be 1 over square root of 3 over 2, which is 2 over square root of 3. And if we rationalize, we get 2 square root of 3 over 3. Secant of 2 pi over 3 is 1 over cosine of 2 pi over 3. So I'm going to have 1 divided by 1/2, which is equal to 2. And then cotangent is equal to 1 over tangent of 2 pi over 3. So I'm going to have 1 over square root of 3, which is square root of 3 over 3. So there's my value for the 6 trig functions. And we could do that for any of those. Let's look at 61 for that one. I want to go through that again with 61. Because sometimes they can be undefined. So 61. And this is where you may want to pause the video, come back and try it. So going back to my unit circle, I got to figure out where is 5 pi over 2. So we've got pi over 2, 2 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 4 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2. 5 pi over 2 is the same thing as pi over 2. So if I want to find the sine is the y value. Cosine is the x value. Tangent is y divided by x, which is 0 here. So now that we know those, let's find the other trig functions. So cosecant of 5 pi over 2 is 1 over the sine, which is 1 over 0. 1 over 0, guys, is undefined, which means the cosecant doesn't exist there. Secant is 1 over cosine. 1 over 1, which is 1. And then cotangent is equal to the tangent. Oh, 1 over tangent, sorry. And that one is undefined too. Sometimes when you're working these out, you will get something that's undefined. Make sure you recognize that form. Okay, and then the last examples that we're going to do. Let's work through number 79. They're asking us to find the values of the 6 trig functions. This point is not on the unit circle. So kind of like when we first started doing these, we got to figure out where it lives. Okay, so here's the point 2, -3. So I went, oh, just kidding. Oh my gosh. Today's one of those days, I think, guys. to -3. I went right to down -3 to get to this point. Okay, and notice how I'm drawing those? When I find that point, this is my radius, and I always connect back to the x-axis. Always back to the x-axis to draw your pictures for the triangles. I've got to figure out what the radius is. Well, radius is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So I'm going to have 2 squared plus -3 squared is equal to r squared. 4 plus 9 is 13. So the square root of 13 is equal to my radius. So now that I know that, I can figure out the values for all the 6 trig functions. So let's do sine. And I'm just going to call this angle theta. So sine, remember, is y divided by r. So my y value is -3. My r value is square root of 13. Cosine of theta is x over r. X is 2. R is square root of 13. Tangent of theta is y over x. So y divided by x is -3 over 2. And then we can do cosecant. Cosecant is the same thing as 1 over sine. So I'm going to have 1 divided by -3 over square root of 13, which is negative square root of 13 over 3. Secant is 1 over cosine. That's going to be 1 over 2 over square root of 13, which is square root of 13 over 2. And tangent is 1 over cotan. 1 over -3 over 2, which is -2/3. So there's a value for all of those 6 different trig functions.